Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mindful Moments, your go-to podcast for insights on mental health and well-being. I'm your host, Sarah, and today we have a special guest, Dr. Emily Jackson, a renowned psychologist and mental health advocate. Welcome, Dr. Jackson.
Thank you, Sarah. It's great to be here.
Today, we're discussing a topic that's become increasingly important, especially in today's fast-paced world, mental health. Dr. Jackson, why do you think mental health awareness has become so crucial recently?
That's a great question, Sarah. Mental health has always been crucial, but we're now seeing a shift in society where people are more open to discussing their struggles and seeking help. The rise in awareness can be attributed to several factors, including social media, which, despite its downsides, has given people a platform to share their experiences and support each other.
Absolutely. Social media can be a double-edged sword, but it has certainly helped in breaking the stigma. Speaking of stigma, what are some common misconceptions about mental health that you encounter in your practice?
One of the biggest misconceptions is that mental health issues are a sign of weakness. This couldn't be further from the truth. Mental health conditions are medical issues, just like physical illnesses, and they require proper treatment. Another misconception is that therapy is only for people with severe problems. In reality, therapy can be beneficial for anyone, even those just looking to improve their overall well-being.
I'm glad you mentioned therapy. It seems there's still a lot of hesitation about seeking professional help. What advice would you give to someone who's considering therapy but feels unsure about it?
I'd say it's completely normal to feel unsure about starting therapy. It's a new experience, and opening up to a stranger can be daunting. However, therapy is a safe space where you can express yourself without judgment. Finding the right therapist can make a huge difference, so don't hesitate to shop around until you find someone you feel comfortable with. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness.
That's excellent advice. Now, let's talk about some practical steps people can take to maintain their mental health on a daily basis. What are some strategies you recommend?
Maintaining mental health is a continuous process, and there are several strategies that can help. Firstly, regular physical activity is crucial. Exercise has been shown to reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. Secondly, mindfulness and meditation can be incredibly effective in managing stress. Thirdly, maintaining a healthy social life and strong support network can provide emotional support and reduce feelings of isolation.
Those are great tips. What role does sleep play in mental health?
Sleep is fundamental to mental health. Poor sleep can exacerbate mental health issues and make it harder to cope with daily stressors. Establishing a regular sleep routine, avoiding screens before bed, and creating a restful environment can significantly improve sleep quality and, by extension, mental health.
Before we wrap up, is there any final message you'd like to share with our listeners?
I'd like to remind everyone that taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health. If you're struggling, reach out for help. There are resources and people ready to support you, and remember, it's okay to not be okay.
Those are great tips. What role does sleep play in mental health?
Sleep is fundamental to mental health. Poor sleep can exacerbate mental health issues and make it harder to cope with daily stressors. Establishing a regular sleep routine, avoiding screens before bed, and creating a restful environment can significantly improve sleep quality and, by extension, mental health.
Speaking of stress, it's something we all face. Do you have any specific techniques for managing acute stress when it arises?
Definitely. When dealing with acute stress, deep breathing exercises can be very effective. Simple techniques like the 4-7-8 breathing method, where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and exhale for 8 seconds, can quickly reduce stress levels. Another technique is progressive muscle relaxation, which involves tensing and then slowly relaxing each muscle group in the body.
Those sound very practical. How about long-term stress management? What habits can people build to better handle stress over time?
Long-term stress management often involves lifestyle changes. Regular physical activity and mindfulness practices are key, but it's also important to manage your workload and set realistic goals. Learning to say no and setting boundaries can prevent burnout. Additionally, engaging in hobbies and activities that you enjoy can provide a much-needed break from daily stressors.
Setting boundaries can be particularly challenging in our busy lives. Do you have any tips on how to effectively set and maintain boundaries?
Setting boundaries starts with self-awareness. Understand what your limits are and communicate them clearly to others. It's important to be assertive yet respectful when setting boundaries. Remember, it's okay to prioritize your own well-being. Practicing saying no in low-stakes situations can help build confidence for more challenging scenarios.
Before we wrap up, is there any final message you'd like to share with our listeners?
I'd like to remind everyone that taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health. If you're struggling, reach out for help. There are resources and people ready to support you, and remember, it's okay to not be okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jackson, for joining us today and sharing your insights. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, Sarah. It's been a pleasure to be here.
And thank you to our listeners for tuning into Mindful Moments. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.